So we are going to be, where's the paint tool? I was going to do this tomorrow, but as it's already got all the affiliate anniversary stuff up, I'll do it today. And we'll talk about my plan for the next new thing that I want to do, my next big project. And this may be pertinent to you all. Yeah, it's just how the dice go. But what I'll be doing is a cooperative storytelling, world building, game? Big question mark. No more King of the Castle today, no. And the basics of this is going to be something that I'm going to have to work on. Sounds like a map is involved. It will be. But the concept for it at the moment... Bye-bye, Ephra. Bye-bye. The concept for it is going to be... Goes to Dragon Swede. Yes. Frontier settlement. Adventurer. How do I spell adventurer? Adventurer. Guilds. Frontier Settlement Adventurer Guilds. And it's going to be a sort of curated narrative game where I will act as a sort of DM, if you will, and you guys will get to vote on things and contribute stuff to the game. Curated narrative game driven by votes and redeems in chat. So I've yet to sort of figure out all the nuts and bolts, obviously. So consider this like this is just a sort of appetizer for it. Obviously, as I find time to work on this, I'll give you guys all updates periodically. I'll make the updates available in the Discord. Yeah. But the goal of the campaign will be to take a struggling settlement on the frontier of a mid-fantasy on the frontier in a mid-fantasy setting. Then we're going to take that and we're going to turn it around into a established settlement. And or thriving Surviving being optional, of course. Town. So that's going to be what we want to do. And if I find the right pen, how big is this pen? Not big enough. Undo. Why are you like this? Is this better? That's better. So how do we do this? It's going to be quite simple. The goal will be through a redeem. No, it won't be like that. What it could be, it's going to be channel points to add an adventurer to the town's roster, where everyone will be able to add one adventurer, I think, at a time. I'll start like that, just so we don't overpopulate. And then, like, once we craft the adventurers, you will be the author of the adventurer, effectively, with a bunch of random charts and, like, iron out details. But we'll get into that. But then you'll be able to randomly redeem to have things happen during the game. So let's see. In order to do this, we need to discover all the discover neighboring regions, areas. So you got to go out and like fill in the map, as it were, in the area around the struggling settlement. Yeah. Resolve any all would be the best way. Any all and a all major threats to the town's security. Establish. Let's change it to red again. Establish a working economy. Oh shit! I don't like where that is. And I might be DMing for a group. Oh, yeah. Might work out best. Is this Metropolis, the Steam game? Could be similar. So what have we got so far? Discover neighbouring areas. So you're going to be on the frontier. You've got to go out, discover what's out there. And large parts of what you'll be doing in the game is we'll be sending out groups of adventurers to go and explore areas and see what's happening, and then dealing with threats that are there, discovering new things. We want to establish a working economy, so that means we're going to have to find resources that the town can capitalize on. What's the other thing I had in mind? It would be stabilize the wait. Wrong term. Secure. No. What would it be to like prop up the local government? the local government is okay, I guess. Like, is not going to collapse under its own weight. Sustainable. There we go. That's a good word. And establish bolster it is, I guess. Establish at least one major adventurer guild. Okay, so those are like the 5 big things that we're going to have to work out as we play through. And so the campaign would be essentially starting out with nothing, building up until we get to the point where it's like, okay, we've discovered the area in the immediate vicinity around the settlement. We know what's out there for like a week or so's ride in and around the town. We've dealt with any major threats that we've found. We've got an actual working economy, so the town is able to look after itself, is able to, without having to get people coming in. Yeah. Ensure the local government is sustainable. So do they have a town watch? Have they got walls? Is there law and order? Do they have everything they need to see to the needs of the local populace and look after themselves? And establish at least one major adventurer guild. So the adventurer guilds who we're going to start off with, we'll start off with like 2 or 3 of them. And they'll be piddly little things. But as you go on adventures and work for the guilds themselves will accrue more resources that they can lend out to people. Yeah, it's not going to be players. The way it's going to work, so let me break this down for you. And I'll try and save this as a VOD so people can review it. And this is something I've been thinking about doing for a while. And it came entirely, I think, well, not entirely, but partly, I was thinking about what to do that would be in a similar vein to King of the Castle. And at a similar time, I was thinking about that. We had Kaji doing his, he had his, play-by-post game? Which sort of was like a springboard that I drew from. And I was like, well, how can I take this and make something that is, like, good for Twitch? And so here's the concept. You're going to have the streamer / narrator. That's me. And I'll be overseeing things. All right? And then there shall be audience / chat. What shall happen is so the levers that the audience will have is you will be able to spawn one adventurer each, which will be rolled at random but allow some choice from the chatter. So you'll be able to spawn one adventurer at the start of the game or whatever, or when you join, as there'll always be new adventurers turning up to town. That is something that the audience will do. I shall then be in control events that show up, if I can get the right color. Based on roles or prompts. Which the narrator will cultivate into what's the correct word? Meaningful? No. Pertinent events. So I will make roles for prompts that will shape like what events are going on, and then I will be like, okay, how can I work that into pertinent events? Audience will vote on how to handle the events. So there'll be options, so on and so forth. At which point we work together essentially so we'll implement the vote with the adventurers and resources on hand in world. So it's going to work just like this. It's going to be very narrative heavy, but there are going to be some stats and whatever, which I'll have to work out. And once I put a pin in things, this is obviously all very fast and loose at the minute. The way it should look is something like this. We're going to start stream with review of situation. And then work through events set in motion last stream and resolve outcomes. Alright, so that'll be the first things that would happen. Then after that, open the game. Oh, thank you, Lake. Goodbye. Take care. Everyone say goodbye to Lake in chat. Hope you have a good night's sleep. Thank you very much for being here and listening to me. Exciting. I am interested to see where you go with this. I have to jump off now, but thanks for the game and a lovely rest of the stream. No worries. Bye-bye, Lake. Open the game up to the audience to create / manage new and existing events let's put that there. Similar colony sims called Odd Realm you could look at. Oh, okay. Is that like a what would you call it? Sort of a computer game, or is it a sort of D&D-esque kind of game? Set up how sort out what resources will be used for what. Prepare next set of events off stream for next time. So this is the average flow of what I expect an episode to be. We'd start off here, work down to this, and so here it's really going to be me, like, it's on Steam. Okay, let me have a look at it. I'll have a look at it once we're done with this. So it's to start off with a review of, like, okay, welcome back, this is the current state of the town, this is what we found, and this is what's going on. And then one by one, kind of like a season in King of the Castle, we'd effectively go through events 1, 2, 3, etc. Where we're going to have certain adventurers going on various quests or doing various things, or stuff will be happening in town, and we'll go through and we'll work out what the consequences of those various events are going to be. Note, some of the adventurers may die, but others may get more powerful. When a character dies, you'll be able to respawn a new one as the author. And as characters get more and more powerful, they will be able to retire, at which point, once an adventurer gets to a point of retirement, they would effectively, like, do something big for the town, like implement a new thing, create a new class that other adventurers can play as, that sort of stuff. But essentially, whenever the adventurers leave the game, whether they die, they run away, or they end up retiring, you'll always be able to roll up a new adventurer in your name, sort of thing. And then we open up the game. So I will turn on all the redeems at that point after we sorted out the resolution of the previous events. At which point the audience, you'll be able to redeem stuff to make stuff happen in and around the town, or, you know, introduce new adventurers if you're a new player, so on and so forth. After you guys have your input, I'm going to sit down and sort out what kind of resources we have available, who's going to be able to do what. And then once I've got an agreement on all of that and everything's happy and we're sort of balanced, we're going to go off stream. I'm going to stop streaming, and then over the week I'll prepare the next set of events for the following week. Like, I would hope to have it be a weekly thing. We'd have to see how taxing it would be. But essentially, I'd want to be able to run in with, like, good content, thought out, like, oh, okay, you got these adventurers working together on this quest, blah, blah, these are the stakes, this is what they're doing, and so on and so forth. So that's basically the loose plan of it. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get this into a state that's going to be good. But there will be various entities in the world so first and foremost, you're going to have a roster of adventurers. Each with their own stats, gear, etc. Each with their own goals and objectives, motives rather. And so they'll all be milling about, each able to form in parties for quests. So these will be like the main things going around enacting in the world, will be the adventurers. Alongside them, we're going to have the settlement. Itself, which shall exist series if I could spell, that would be good. Series of abstract values from, I'm going to be borrowing the system from the Game of Thrones RPG. which, for those that don't know, it has a whole system for managing the noble houses. And so the players would all be from the same noble house. And so they have values for their military, for their defenses, for what kind of economy that they're managing, what lands they own, that sort of stuff. I'm going to do that to essentially sort of change it a bit to make it reflect better what we're trying to do here. Concrete. Concrete. What should it be called? Resources. That adventurers can use. So this will be shops, inns, what have you, training. In the beginning, there'll just be some sort of marketplace, and you'll have traveling merchants coming to and from. And so if you want to get a better weapon or armor or anything, or, well, if an adventurer wants better gear, they're going to have to really hope that some merchant that's coming through has that gear. So that will be a random thing, the marketplace. But as we go on and the settlement builds up, we'll add more actual concrete stuff. There may be actual storefronts that sell a steady stream of stuff, actual benefits to things. Yeah, no, it is very much the idea. Like, the framework is so I'm borrowing from that, and then like a lot of the prompts and the ideas is going to be from 13th Age, another RPG I like. So a lot of the narrative work is going to sort of come from there. There is the guilds. And the adventuring guilds will offer quests, offer membership perks. So if a adventurer formally joins one of the guilds, the guild will have something going on that can give the member, give its member adventurers like some sort of buff or another. And as time goes on, these will get more specialized and more, how should we say, pertinent. At the start, the adventurer guilds will be like, okay, cool. Well, if you join us, we've got ready supply of resources. If you join us, we've actually got bed and board. So, you know, you can sleep here for free without having to worry about paying upkeep. If you join us, you know, we've got a blacksmith that can make you decent gear. You know, that would be like the baseline level. But as it gets on and on, there'll be unique classes that adventurers can spec into by joining guilds. There'll be more prominent bits of gear and buffs, skills, and what have you. But the adventuring guilds are going to be the ones that offer quests, and when completing a quest for an adventuring guild, that's what's going to unlock extra stuff for that guild, allow them to get extra stuff, and they shall have, it shall be based off similar stats to the settlement. So then, that's pretty much what's going on there around that. But there's also the world outside, and in the world outside, we have overworld map. Which shall be divided, if I could spell again, divided into distinct, unexplored regions and a few known entities. So there will be on the far periphery of the map a existing town that the overworld, that the settlement will be mainly trading with. Vastly, it will be a large blank canvas, and as the city builds itself up, it will charge the adventuring guilds with like, okay, go and discover what's out here, go and do this, and the adventuring guilds will try and lay claims to certain areas of the map that they can explore and look into in hopes of finding like treasure, in hopes of finding calls to have quests to charge money back from the settlement itself. When going into these various regions, we'll be rolling up to see what we find. So it'll be a very organic sort of thing. We don't actually know what's out there. There'll be like some sort of mountain range, a major river maybe. That would be another thing that will sort of divide the map. But yeah, that's going to be that. And then there'll be the overworld. Oh, that's a bad color for this. Overworld factions. Now the overworld factions, the kingdom, that sent out the convoy for the new, well, for the settlement. The kingdom that sponsors, let's say that. Traveling Merchant Guild. Plural. And then, of course, any group that we find while exploring the world which again will be randomly generated based on what we find in the various regions. So we could find friendly groups that we could work with that might help us out, we'll be able to trade with, or we could find, who knows, anyone, like roving bands of bandits, outlaws, orcs, all kinds of like nefarious creatures that we'd have to deal with. Even single entities, like if you found something big like a dragon or a small gathering of ogres or something. Those will be groups that will be active in the world map. Factions will have their own will and objectives in the world that the and settlement will have to accommodate for. Can I even... okay. Accommodate for... There we go. So then, that's a basic overview of what we're going to have going on. I don't expect to start this anytime soon. But this is a broad strokes plan for what I want to do going forward in the future. I see this as something I could do that would expand upon what we're already doing with the role-play in King of the Castle. And allow me to implement some of the stuff I enjoy about role-playing and DMing, while also, you know, engaging with the audience. And it's a nice way where there's a distance between you guys. It's not a problem if you guys can't show up to one, because you'll be able to watch the VODs and stuff like that. And I would hope that this resonates well with you all. Are there any questions? As obviously, this is not something that's going to happen overnight. I'm going to have to put a bit of time, effort, and energy into doing this. And the idea is I'm going to do this, try it out. Each session would be 1-2 hours long. I'd hope so, but I'm not sure. I think it could very easily grow into more than that. Most of my questions sort of require more of the world to exist first. Yeah, this isn't like... because the world is going to be procedurally generated kind of thing. So it's going to be a mystery to me and you and everyone as to what we get when we roll things up. So I'm going to have to make a bunch of charts and whatever. But yes, Whopper, the hope would be that, you know, I'd spend like the first hour or so dealing with... if I can get it. Spend the first hour or so dealing with this half. And then maybe it would drag out a bit here because there's a bit of interaction between me and the audience, me and the chat. But with an ideal idea that we would have all this set up by the time, you know, an hour, hour and a half tops maybe. And I think the current plan would be to run King of the Castle and then roll into this. So it'd be Kotek first and then start here. But there would be like a session 0 sort of thing where we sit down. That might be too ambitious, is it really? Needs to be done fresh? Okay, fair enough. Not at present. Sounds interesting. My current D&D group is a little light on RP. Oh no. Oh yeah. So it's not like, again, you will not be in control of adventurers. You'll essentially be like, you'll be assigned an adventurer that you'll be author of, that you create and then set out into the world, and then it's going to organically, they're just going to organically work through things. The trouble with roleplay stuff and streaming is I don't think it would work too well. Unless I was to like actually stream myself running a RPG, pen and paper RPG. Happy affiliate anniversary, thank you Nekojita. It needs to be done fresh. We'll see. I think if it gets to the point where it's really big and the sessions start taking up like 3 or 4 hours, then I probably would. The alternative is maybe I do it on a Friday so I can keep all the stuff going. But then on a Friday, I would also need to, finish up early for my own personal reasons. I quite like the idea of doing it on Kotek because Kotek is the weekend, and the weekend is when people are most available. So I might have to make a choice. I might have to step back from King of the Castle to afford this time. But I'd like to try and avoid doing that. Could slot into your Wednesday strategy? That's true. But then because it's a weekday, it's fine for those that can make it at that time all the time. I think I'd want to focus on having it available so that people, it's the weekend, we don't have work, we don't have stuff to do. We know Thrifty's going to be doing the thing. The same reason why I do King of the Castle on the weekends, because it guarantees a certain level of turnout. And if I'm going to be doing this, I want this to be something that everyone can tune into if they can. But yeah, logistics of when and how long it takes, that's all stuff that we're going to have to figure out on the fly. At the minute, I want this very stripped back and very simple. And I want everything to sort of flow and be very easy to understand, and I want very manageable goals, which is what these are here. So it should be, I can control how many areas are on the map, how many regions the map is divided into, for example. So if I say there's 20 regions, well, that's what you got to do 20 little adventurers where you explore the initial area. You don't have to actually fully explore it and find everything that's in it, which would be a different category. But you have to actually discover the areas and see what's going on. Resolve any and all major threats. I don't know if there'll be any major threats, because obviously it'll all be RNG. But if there are, it's stuff that you will have to either negotiate with or, outright conquer and drive out. And I would expect to have one threat like Rise Up to be some sort of finale, end of game boss, end of campaign boss. Establishing a working economy, that's very simple. We would just have the settlement spread out over the immediate area. And I'll figure out some kind of threshold for what a working economy looks like. Same with the local government and its garrison. And establish at least one major adventurer guild. So the adventurer guilds just level up one of the guilds to a point where it's like a major thing, where it can train people in a bunch of stuff. And I'd have to have some sort of ranking order for how the guilds are graded. But I think mechanically it would roll through some dice roll stuff to manage the stats and sort of conflict resolution. So different adventurers would have different abilities to do things. But yeah, furthermore, it's going to be a lot of figuring stuff out. And the reason why I settled on this, because I've been thinking about a bunch of different ways I could do this and a bunch of different settings. This is the smallest setting that I've come up with that I feel could work. And I mean, if it doesn't work, that's fine, because we will learn from it. We will think over it and we will try to improve. But I really want to do something like this because the audience does continue to grow, but there'll come a threshold some point in the future probably where I have too many viewers, as it were, to do this with any kind of like certainty. And so I want to do this now while I've got enough regulars, when I know there'll be 7 or 8 people in the audience maybe who will come every week. Yeah. And then, like, while I've still got that small core loyal things, I can test this out, figure out how it works, and then maybe learn something while doing it, where I can roll it out on a bigger setting, where I have more complicated stuff going on, and I'll do different settings. Because I'm fairly certain, like, this one's in chat if you're still here and this is your cup of tea and you would like to play this and this sounds like something exciting to you. Zero's in chat if it sounds like a bit much. Like, okay. 1111, good. I thought as much, because obviously this is pretty much an extension of what we're doing with King of the Castle. And again, it will still be very laid back on your part. Your engagement will be entirely up to you. Whether or not you vote in the polls or you make redemptions, you could literally just show up, spawn a single adventurer, and then just sit back and let the story unfold. So that there's no tax on you, there's no demands on your part. 1. Yeah. Yeah, using channel points, exactly. It's going to be that. So spawning the adventurer, I think, would be like 1,000 channel points. And then when I figure out how I want other redeems to be, they'll have an appropriate cost. Good, I'm wary of overcommitting myself. Yeah, you guys are not going to have to do anything. All I'll ask is you show up for the stream, be present. No, not really. Hopefully not trying to sabotage me. Although I will be, as like the narrator, I'll be taking on the roles of the various sort of monsters and factions that you're going to find out in the world. So as to that, yes, you should probably sabotage them. But the idea is I want like a sort of meaningful narrative to work through. Yeah, so like literally the most work anyone will have to do is making an adventurer. And so when I open that up, we'll have to sit there and go through a bunch of charts. What it's going to be, it'll be, let me expand this. So let's find a nice colour that we haven't used yet. Or haven't used near here, so it stands out. So adventurer creation, and it will consist of a bunch of random charts. You'll have the archetype, i.e. fighter, rogue. Wait, have I done that right? Did I do it right for once? Which one is it? Rogue. It's that one, right? That's how I spell it. Fighter, rogue, spellcaster, support. Hello, Teeny Bert. We're just talking about because obviously it's the affiliate anniversary. Okay, yeah, rogue. So you're going to have Vampire Pirate Captain? Maybe. But you'll have the Archetype, which will be their broad focus, if you will. And then you'll have a actual class. So, for example, I haven't planned it all yet, but Fighter would have stuff like Archer, Soldier, Brawler, etc. We'll then have race, human, elf, etc. So we'll have starting races, and we'll unlock new options for this as we go on. Finally, well, not finally, but there'll be a culture. So each of the different races will have their own cultures, which I haven't planned out yet, so that'll be it. Platypus we could do. I'm just going to start with a generic kind of Tolkien-esque, D&D-esque fantasy setting. So I think the starting races would be human, elf, dwarf, and half-orc. With maybe halfling in there if I can think up good stuff for it. You're not making Parry the Platypus? Exactly. But yeah, they'd have their own culture. So you got the class, race, culture, archetype. 4 things to roll for. You'll then have personality, traits, or traits, plural. I haven't decided how that's going to work, but that's going to be the narrative focus. And then finally, retirement quest, which will be randomly generated. So each adventurer creation shall have a quest that they're sort of undergoing, their overarching objective, and then once they complete that, it will achieve something. Yeah. Like, all of this is going to be very basic to start with, and then as we go along and we discover stuff, I'll procedurally add more stuff in. But Fighter, Rogue, Spellcaster, Support, those are the 4 archetypes guaranteed. And Spellcaster, it'll be Mage or Sorcerer or Cleric. Will probably be the starting classes, which should tell you all you need to know about the kinds of spells they'll be having. But yeah, on the basis of that, RNG with 2 forced choices. So, what I mean by this, when one of you creates an adventurer, you will essentially get to randomly determine all of these. But if you so choose, you could force the choice twice. So you can pick 2 of these 6 things. What are the limits to that? Well, it's going to start off being quite basic. I don't know if any of you ever played Gloomhaven. But effectively, we're going to be starting with, the hope is, basic. Gear classes. And then we'll move on to advanced gear and classes, which you'll unlock. And as you unlock the advanced stuff, you'll get to... What's the next bit of rarity? Blue, isn't it? Expert. And then maybe... Master. So we're going to start off with a bunch of basic bits and pieces, so basic classes, and then once someone achieves something, they'll unlock a new advanced class for one of the archetypes. The way I view it, all adventurers will start off with basic gear and classes, and then as advanced stuff gets unlocked, they'll be able to earn it by going on adventures and gaining experience. And so one of the things I'm thinking of, if a character that wants to unlock a new class retires and they are a member of a certain guild, they will essentially retire to be a teacher at that guild. And so an adventurer who is a member of that guild can gain access to that advanced class. The Iron Oath. Oh, we're all going to start? No. Yeah, so there's going to be stuff that will be guild locked based on how the guilds develop. And so the ultimate idea that I would like in my head is to have a guild that specialise in different things. So having a guild that specialises in spellcasters and wizards and the like would be quite good. But then also having a guild... Oh, okay, we're going to branch out into rangers and druids and that kind of thing. Or having a guild that's all about, like, supplies. And they're all about having good gear and giving people the best equipment. And like, it's all set up so everyone that goes out has potions or whatever stockpiled. So we don't know what the guilds are going to turn into until we start playing through and we see how the guilds organically develop. It's something that will be kind of like highlighted, but the details of it would be kind of... So the retirement quests will be like set, they'll be randomly determined. And the way it would work is, it'd be like, okay, this is somebody who wants to get a degree of expertise. They want to go on 5 quests. They want to successfully complete 5 quests with a positive outcome. And once they do that, they will retire and they will pass on their knowledge, and that will unlock a new class. But then there'll be other ways of doing it as well. I've yet to flesh it out. But essentially, the class will always be for something... We'll always know what level the class will be, so we'll know if it's an advanced class, an expert, or so on. And the advanced class that the adventurer would unlock will always be for the archetype that adventurer is. So the fighter isn't going to unlock an advanced class for a support adventurer, exactly, etc. Having a better economy would allow for better gear? Yes, exactly. Better types of gear and weapons, better things. As for gear, the way it would work, adventurers would have certain outfits and certain weapons which would have their own capacity and quality. And so they'd essentially have an outfit, a gear set, which would be like, okay, you got a pile of potions, or you got the adventuring gear with the rope and the pittons and all that other stuff, or you got the lockpick and the trap disarmament gear, whatever have you. So the way I view it is outfit times 2. So they'd have 2 bits of gear. And then on top of that, they'll have skills of some sort that would be derived from their various stats. And obviously the spellcasters will have so many spells, which they remember and can cast. Need some clarification. Objective randomly generated, and is the retirement RNG or chosen? So the whole quest will be like a set thing. So I'll have to make up a big list of them. But the details of the reward will not be fleshed out until later on. Because it's like, oh, okay, this is a character. I don't want to set it in stone that a character will unlock like a knight class or whatever, and then they go off and they play it and they don't get heavy armor or a horse or anything. No. You'll be able to force pick it from a list, but I'm going to try and develop it in ways so that the different classes or the different adventurers will have something suitable to work towards for the outcomes wanted. But effectively, there'll be so many advanced classes available for each archetype, and so many basic stuff. So the first adventurers will probably be inundated with getting more basic bits and pieces, and some advanced, and then once the basic stuff is cleared, we'd go on, unlock more advanced stuff, and then once that's cleared, then we'll have expert stuff, and then maybe master stuff, whatever have you. I mean, I might make it open. If that's something you're interested in, I'll make a note here, I guess. Question mark, I'll have to have a think about it. Maybe what I'd say, this is an idea just off the top of my head. Adventurer authors will be consulted and be asked for preferences. So we're going to try and work it out. But essentially this will be in the off-stream stuff. Like I'd send you a DM. Yeah. A DM fear is going to be a thing. I'm just going to tell you now. Like, I'm going to be trying to shape and cultivate something that works. It isn't just a random pile of bits. Yeah. But the drafting process will be quite simple. I'll have like a basic idea of what I want as a good and fair system, and a good idea of, you know, oh, okay, this works for quests, that works for quests, this is a good reward. But the meat and potatoes of stuff is literally going to be, show up, hey guys, remember what happened last time? This is what we're working through now. Blah, blah. Okay, so this group of adventurers is going here. This is what they're getting up to. Maybe have a bit of stuff. I'll allow you to maybe vote on a few bits and pieces here for pivotal, like, ideas about outcomes and stuff. And then we work through that. And then we sort of open up the game to everyone to sort of spawn. And what you'll be spawning is new stuff happening in the world. So either established factions would do stuff, or you'd spawn a new quest in an adventurers guild, or something would happen in the settlement. Do you have a... Yes, I do, Adjit. Hold on. Can we... What's the command for it? Is it exclamation mark? There you go. Ah, there we are. There's always the idea that if a chat suggests a good idea, yes. So, I will always consult the authors. And obviously, should an adventurer die before they make retirement or disappear for any other reason, and even if they retire, the author will be asked to roll up and create a new adventurer sort of thing. But yeah, so that's a good question. That's a good idea. I'll think about how to handle that stuff and with the retirement quests and what have you. But yeah, stay tuned. If you guys get on the Discord, I'll try and make updates as and when. And maybe a few months from now. I don't think it'll be anytime soon. But probably sometime in the future. I'm not going to make any kind of commitments. I want to speedrun a necromancy guild and then could have like blood magic. Well, I mean, that could happen. Maybe a good... No. Not another Christmas gift. But we'll see. Now that I know that I've expressed it to you all and I've put it out here, and I see that there's a degree of interest in this idea, I'm going to follow through on it. Eventually I'll get to the point where I've got something playable, and then I'm going to have to very much play as we go. If it's successful and it works, that would be fantastic. But if it sort of flounders and falls flat on its ass, or if it becomes untenable, well, I will learn from it. I'll take what I learn, and we'll come back and have another go with a different idea of some sort. But yeah, perhaps the signing bonus is a donated skeleton you can animate. Oh no. Yes, come and join the Necromancers Guild. Ooh. But yeah, I want to try and avoid any kind of project creep and keep it streamlined and basic. And so that the main focus would be the narrative stuff. That would come to the forefront. So making narrative decisions about who's going what and doing where, managing resources, all the sort of nuts and bolts and the mechanics would just sort of happen in the background. Project creep. Have a plan with over 30 points. Yes. Come see our Hall of Honor dead. They do the cleaning during the evenings. But yeah, and obviously if this works and if this is a good proof of concept, I'll sort of finalize it and I'll publish a free PDF so anyone else could run it if they want to run streams like this. And I will also work on something bigger, better, little more complicated. Like, there's a variety of other settings I've been thinking about, but I won't talk about them now, because that's not the point. I was thinking more, your guild dues don't have to go to paying guards? Oh, okay. I mean, I guess if they get you quick enough and they can resurrect you as a kind of high-level zombie or wraith, maybe. I was just thinking about skeletons, like, just sort of jangling about. But yeah, that's my big well done. I've made it to 2 years of affiliate. I haven't gotten bored or scared off yet. We keep going. Thank you everyone for being here, however long you've been here. I know some of you have been here for like the whole 2 years. Others of you have been along for the ride for a very long time. I think more than a few of you have been here for like a year and a half at least. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about this and embark upon this. And maybe, hopefully... Well, hopefully I get it done soon as. Are there any other questions? Or any other comments people want to make before I take us off on some kind of raid or... Don't poke you until 2026. Listen, it's fine. I'm going to post this. I'll make a new chat in the Discord and I'll post it there. And any on-running discussions we can have, I'll also clip this and we'll have it available. Still going to be out before GTA 6. Wait, is that postponed? Isn't that meant to be coming out later this year, right? In time for the holiday season, I'd imagine. I thought it was. I thought that's what all the hype was about, but I guess not. I don't know. I keep hearing... What I hear is it's going to come out and it's going to cost $100, and that's going to set a new standard for AAA games. So I'll have, like, $20... more reasons not to buy AAA games. That's that's what they're saying in the press, in the gaming press, but, you know, games journalists, so who knows? That's such a dumb idea. Like, if your game's worth $100, yeah, maybe. Think they delayed it? I don't know. I haven't... Listen, the last GTA game that I played all the way through would have been GTA San Andreas. I played GTA 5 part way through, and then I didn't even play GTA 4, sorry, with Nico Bellic. Played that a bit, I didn't even play 5. Monster Hunter Wilds, yeah. Oh, GTA comes out in May 2026, okay. Four killed my interest, yeah, it's... There's the difference, the juxtaposition. Like, they tried to have a serious, grounded story, but they kept all the wacky, really violent gameplay that you came to expect from the old GTA games, and it doesn't seem like they changed. Like, yeah, if we're going to play a game where you can just rob a car, drive around, get in gunfights with the cops, drive into a little garage, get the car repainted, and nothing's happened, then I want to play as Tommy Vercetti or CJ or what's his name from GTA 3? Clyde, was it? Like, I want to play an over-the-top, complete stereotype of a gangster psychopath. And just enjoy it as like a fun tongue-in-cheek thing. I don't want to play as somebody like Nico sitting down after I've just had a huge gunfight and killed like 20 people, talking about how, oh, things were worse in the old country in Eastern Europe and blah blah. It's like kind of it kind of rubs against the grain of the game and undermines itself. Yeah, which is kind of the reason why, like, Saints Row picked up back in the day. Because when GTA started leaning into that stuff, Saints Row 2 came out, I think. And it was very wacky, over-the-top nonsense. All the fun little side quests. I used to love playing that game with the, what is it, insurance fraud quests? You go out into a busy road and, like, try and throw yourself in front of traffic and try and get as much damage done as possible to yourself in order to rack up the biggest lawsuit bill. Oh man, the quest where I got to do that in front of the airport and there are buses and lorries going around with freights. Oh. Yeah, exactly. You know, if I'm going to play a game that's like over the top gameplay, I want it to own it. But yeah, this is all I've got time for, I think. Thank you very much for humouring me. Let's have a look